It's Michaela. I hope you're ready for crafting time. Hi YouTube. Okay, so we're going to try something different today. We're going to do some more crafting. I've made quite a few of these already, as you can see from this example over here. These are on a really nice piece of beechwood that I found on the beach in Steveston. And I'm making a wall hanging with them. And I feel as though there's the salt dough from our previous videos. They're still just sitting here waiting to be sealed. Cute, right? Anyway, you can go and watch that video if you like. I'll tag it at the end. And so these are actually just made out of wool, or like not wool. What do you call this? Yeah, wool for knitting. And I've seen these made a lot on YouTube, but I don't really like how floppy they become. And they become really, really floppy, I think, because using the slicker brush, you're pulling out like half, probably, of your fibers. So I decided as a mindfulness practice that what I would do is just manually, sorry, you can hear Cooper in the background, I would manually untwine them. So that's what I did, and this is what they look like. There is some jute in there. Just picked it up at the dollar store. Not a big fan of the dollar store, but I will go there occasionally for things. And then while I was at the thrift store the other day, I found this corkboard, and I thought that would be actually really good for working on this craft, so I picked it up. So here we go. We're going to add, I think, one more feather right here, and that should complete this. I might add some beads and stuff like that, but I don't think so. And I also know that most people, while they work on these, they work right on the stick, but I this is a lot more portable for me, and I would prefer to work with it this way. So that's what I'm going to do now, and I thought you guys might like to see how that happens. All right, so let's get started. First thing I did is took my wool, and I decided where I wanted it to hang on here. And I need a really big loop at the top because I'm not attaching it to the stick now. I need to shove everything here, all of this feather material, the feathers, leaves, I'm calling them leaves anyway, through that hole to attach it to the stick. So we're going to leave it long. And so I tried to pre-measure that out where I thought that might be, and this is what I decided for my project. And I also double over the wool for my rib down the center. So I just put a knot here, and I am going to pin it. I've never used this corkboard before, so hopefully it'll all go well. Another plane going over, you know. And then I tied a knot at the bottom, and that's going to provide us with the feathery bit at the bottom here. And so I'm going to try pinning that. It might not need to be pinned. It might actually be more of a problem if it is. And then I took my wool and I made strips out of it like this. These are about 9 inches long. And I'm going to triple these up. So if you see here on the rib, the wool is actually, there's 2 or 3 strands. And I'm being consistent with that. So with the jute, I don't need that because it's really thick. You only need 1. But with the wool, it was not standing up for itself before. Here, I'll show you another example. So I had made these ones, and they are wood done with like kitchen twine. And I mean, they're fine, right? They're fine, but blah, blah, blah. Not really what I was looking for. And they kind of rolls on itself. So I was just experimenting with it. And I did spray these with hairspray just to try to give them a little bit more oomph for themselves. And I only did a single one. So I am learning as I go. And here, sorry, I'm walking back and forth. This one's a bit of a mess. I haven't really cleaned it up at all. This is one that I did, just a small one that's made primarily out of jute with a little bit of wool in it. But it could use a little love, it looks like, eh? Yeah. We're learning. Anyway, so I am going to do this as a combination of this wool that has the different colors in it And I'm going to add jute to it like I've done with the rest of these, so there's some consistency in my design. And I've got my cup of tea, and I don't have my glasses, so I'm going to get those. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm almost at the bottom here, as you can see. I did want to mention a couple of things. The reason why I used 3 of each at a time, like this, was just to thicken it up. It makes it a thicker cord by doing that. You can put 1s in, you can put 2s in, really depends on what you're looking for. I just want them to be nice and thick. And the other thing with the jute is it doesn't hang particularly nicely, but it does offer structure. So I won't put it too close to the bottom. I am going to go ahead and put one in here, which is going to go against the grain, because these are like going backwards and forwards, and then this one's just going to go in the same way, which, what are you going to do? Sometimes that's how it works out. So we just continue along putting these in. Here's another little thing I do. I take 1s like this when I get to the bottom, and I put 1 that way, 1 that way, and then I tie them like that. And then that will add to the floofiness down here. Okay, so I think this is pretty much the last one we're going to need on this. And then let the fluffing begin. Got to keep everyone in their respective places. Oh, missed one there, so back through. I'm going to bung this one up. Let's see. It's always the last one, isn't it? Or in this case, the second to last one. Okay, so all we're going to do is we're going to sit in front of the TV and we're going to watch our favorite new Netflix show. For me, it's The Empress right now. And we are going to just untwine them. I use my fingernail because I have them. And that's all we're going to do all the way through. Just mindlessly sit there and do this. Or mindfully, I suppose. We don't want to be mindless about it. And you will find that it's quite calming, I hope. I say that and get frustrated. Dear universe, please play along. Okay, so yeah, that's all we're going to do. And I'm not going to make you watch me do that and fast forward because I think you'd rather get the idea. The jute is a little bit of a pain in the butt, I will be honest. You just gotta, you know, be the will, be stronger than the jute. So that's it. And I find that you don't lose your fibers. Like, if you use a slicker brush, you really do lose, like, a ton of structure. And, okay, so what you're going to do here is these are going to add to the bottom. They're going to help fill out that hanging part. And just tighten them as you go. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take a pair of scissors and you're just going to cut it into the shape that you want to see it in. And it turns out to be this lovely, fluffy thing. So there you go. And you can use stiffener. You can use hairspray to stiffen them. I've seen people use like Mod Podge to stiffen them. So I'm going to go ahead and add this one when it's done to this hanging display. I probably won't add any beads or anything like that to it. I do have some wooden leaves and wooden owls and that type of stuff that I picked up also at the Evil Dollar Store. So I will, think about adding those maybe at a later date. But anyway, that's what I'm working on. I will post some pictures at the end when it's all done so that you can see it. And if you give it a try, tag me on Instagram or wherever. And I'm at August95Arts on Instagram. I haven't been there in a little while, but I'm always around. So tag me or put a comment below what you think. If you have any tips or tricks for anyone who wants to try this out for themselves. And there you go. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you enjoy your crafting. So I'm just back to talk about the jute. And with the jute, when you take it apart, it's very much in these like individual strands, as you can see here. And so the best thing to do is you can take these again as you've already undone them and then keep turning the individual strands. Get your nail in there and just kind of floof them up a bit. And you can go through and do that at the end just to see how that works out for you. You don't have to, but it's just to give it a little bit of extra oomph, Who doesn't like a little extra oomph? And yeah, I think that's about it. So I will come back to you guys again when I am ready to cut it. Just keep finger combing it. That's what I generally tend to do. Just keep finger combing it. Because I don't want to lose so many fibers, I found that I was doing them with the slicker or even just a regular comb, and it was pulling out about half of the fibers. Maybe I was doing something wrong. I don't know. But I just found this way to kind of be a little bit more, a little bit more one with the material or whatever. Anyway, I will get back to you when I'm ready to cut. Okay, so let's see how this works out, because this is probably the biggest one of these I've ever made, I'm just realizing. And also, I have never cut on this board before. So what I've seen some people do is they take a piece of paper and they cut, or they draw what they want the thing to look like, and they cut it out. I am probably not gonna do that. I'm probably just gonna eyeball it. Oh, there's a very large truck going through my neighborhood, so if you can hear it, I apologize. Let's see what we get. And I'm going to fiddle with this a lot more. I'm just ready to cut it now. I'm going to move it up my board a little bit. Get all this stuff out of my way and just kind of eyeball it. And before you do it, I usually flip it over because I want to make sure everybody's where they ought to be. See, and you may want to go back in and just do a little bit more work with it like that. But apart from that, I think I'm just about ready to cut it. And I did put this knot really high up so I can move the knot down, because this is very large, as I said. Fiddle, 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 fluff, fluff, fluff. Stop, just cut. All right, and now it's pretty much in the center of the board, so that's actually going to be a fairly good guideline. And I'm just going to use my big red crafting scissors. That it seems like someone's been using for something that's not crafting, because they could use a sharpen. No blame, no blame. I bet it was my husband. Take a little bit of blame. Oh, right. And now let's just go right on ahead and do the same thing to the other side. If you want to flip it over before you cut it, you are most certainly welcome to do whatever you want on your crafting projects, because they are yours. And they should reflect you. And they should make you happy when you look at them. You should go, hey, I made that. It's pretty cool. Just thank God I just never became a hairdresser, eh? Okay. That is humongous. So I'm just going to keep playing with that. And then I'm going to maybe not, add it to this. We shall see. Anyway, when I decide, I will take a picture. Oh, my lighting's not very good. I apologize. I will take a picture of it and I will post it here for you. All right. I hope you enjoyed that. And I hope you'll come back again next time it's crafting time. Bye, friends.